Upon the assumption of office as governor of Bayelsa State, most of the critical initial steps taken by the Dixon-led restoration government were aimed at laying a solid foundation upon which a diversified and vibrant economy can be built. These steps include making huge investments in security, declaration of emergency in education, critical investment in agriculture, tourism, and other sectors. With the obvious overdependence on oil revenue by most states of the Federation and the attendant consequences, especially in an economy such as ours, which is threatened by recession, Bayelsa State decided to look inwards to harness its vast potentials in the agricultural sector for the overall good of the people. To this end, the government, led by His Excellency, Governor Henry Sereke Dixon, initiated a number of laudable ideas and projects to boost agriculture in Bayelsa State.
This policy is aimed at diversifying, in a real and concrete and verifiable sense, the economy of our state beyond oil and gas revenue.
To start with, Bayelsa State has comparative advantage in large-scale production of rice, palm produce, aquaculture, bananas, plantains, cassava, and vegetables.
We are a state that is full of all potentials in agriculture. All the way around. You talk of livestock, you talk of fish, you talk of arable crop, you talk of cereal crop. For instance, Bayelsa lies along the three forest belts, also lie along the swamp belt, swamp forest. All three crops, particularly oil palm, which UN studies also confirms that Bayelsa is having the highest potentials of cultivating oil palm. Is it rice you're talking about? We have maximum amount of water and freshwater swamps, brackish water swamps that can irrigate water naturally, rice naturally. Is it fish production? Is it cage fish production, where you go to the ocean or shorelines to produce fish using cages? Is it inland fish production? Our land is full of water. If you scratch the land 1 meter, you're already striking underground water, so you put in fish, it grows. What area don't we have comparative advantage? This is a state that is full with every potential in agriculture generally.
Another alternative for where investors would look at as a market for their investment. So if I tell people to come invest in my locality, then I should ordinarily be able to demonstrate to them that I also believe in that locality and also put my own investment in that locality. So what the government has done is to start some commercial ventures on their own that would demonstrate to potential investors that Bayelsa actually can be a market where commercial businesses can be set up and will thrive. Now, for some of those businesses, we've invested in agriculture.
Bayelsa State has a palm plantation of 1,200 hectares with a potential to grow the palm plantation to 2,000 hectares at the current location.
So the restoration government under Henry Sereke Dixon, having subscribed to the commercialization, not privatization, commercialization policy, advertised some of our agricultural ventures, and at the end of the day, MAMCO, a private sector company owned by indigenes of Bayelsa and Ijaw land, to bid and qualified, and we've since gone into commercial arrangements where Bayelsa Palm is handed over to MAMCO. MAMCO's responsibility in the arrangement is to make sure that Bayelsa Palm is well managed, to make sure that some amount is paid to the state government because the asset belongs to the state government under the concessional arrangement. And so Bayelsa Palm, as we speak, is in the hands of a private sector called MAMCO, and they are, to the best of my knowledge, trying their best to revitalize the ailing assets in Bayelsa Palm, and they are also contributing to the IGRO base of the state.
Similar opportunities abound across the state to increase the palm production capacity. Indeed, Bayelsa has the capacity to be like Malaysia and Indonesia in palm oil production. Today, Bayelsa is open to investors to partner with the state in this area.
By partnering, we need to source for those who had already established their contacts outside Nigeria, so that we can also export our products outside. In fact, that's why you have the cargo airport. The cargo airport is established mainly for these purposes. It's not just only the fish farm, but there are other products that need to be exported out of this country so that we can make enough foreign exchange for the state as well.
The government of Bayelsa State has established a modern cassava processing plant in conjunction with Ulster Trade Engineering and Manufacturing International Company, a Hungarian-Danish consortium, to produce 600 tons of industrial starch, in addition to an outgrower scheme of 600 hectares of cassava farm.
This cassava project is still going to be one of the very major investment arrangements made by any state government. He is keen on ensuring that agriculture would play a vital role in terms of the employment of the people. And I remember him very well. He wanted to transform Bayelsa into a food basket, away from the regular oil, which generally is taken to be what Bayelsa is known for. Of course, we know it's an oil-producing state. So then came in Ulster Trade, a foreign company based in Hungary, and this governor, as usual, made a lot of commitment.
We have a buyback agreement with them. We are to produce 60 metric tons of modified and local starch for export and for our local markets here in Ebedelive. We've gone very far, and because of the demand in cassava starch, the demand is very high. We need 3,000 hectares to be cultivated to feed that factory. So we intend to engage cassava farmers. We want to start with 3,000 of them, give them the necessary inputs for them to go into massive production. And we are keen into the Anchor Borrowers program of the CBN to actualize our dream also, though we've started, and we also want to key in. The farmers will be given all the necessary inputs to go into massive production, and at the end of the day, we have a buyback agreement with them.
Already, the government, through the Ministry of Agriculture, has concluded a seed multiplication farm on 40 hectares farmland at Ebedebiri for the purpose of cultivating cassava to be processed as starch for export. One of the key projects of government in agriculture is the Yenagwe Fish Farm Estate with 500 fish ponds. The project, which occupies 1,000 square meters of land, is capable of employing about 1,000 people, both directly and indirectly.
We have already started with farms in every local government. The 500 ponds in Yenagoa is set. You have a hatchery there. that will produce the fingerlings that we'll give to them. They don't need to have anything. They just need to have the interest, and we will train them. Even those who don't have the interest, we will make them have the interest. We will train them, put them on the farms. We have the hatchery. We have the feed mill that will produce the feed for you. We have the ponds on ground. So we give you a pond, we give you the feed, we give you the fingerlings. You are good to go, and we train you. And on top of that, we will give them subsistence allowance.
Here we have the aquaculture village, Yenigwe, in Yenigwa local government area. We have different enterprises in this village. In the farm here, we have 500 production ponds. These 500 ponds, each of them has a dimension of 1,000 square meters. They are all earthen ponds, and they have been built in a way that each pond can be allocated to one farmer. And basically, it's a catfish hatchery, which will be provided to the farmers working here to stock their ponds. From the hatchery, once the fingerlings are produced, we move them to the outdoor tarpaulin ponds right behind me and allow them to grow to a reasonable size before they are given to the farmers who will now grow them in the production ponds. Right here in this farm, we have put up a feed mill with a capacity of producing 20 tons of high quality floating fish feeds on a daily basis.
This farm is all comprised. The feed mill belongs to government. Only a management company will come and oversee everything they are doing there without government interference. Why I said the feed mill, for instance, if you look at this state, the major problem of this state is capital flight. If you must establish a fish pond here, you neither produce nor manufacture feed mills here. You send your money out to buy these products before you can feed everything. But in this case, government itself is providing the feed mill.
After his production, which we hope will last 4 months, to get to the smoker-sized fish, which is about 500 grams for each fish, we move the fish to the processing factory. We have a processing factory here, and in place are 30 units of the Neoma smoking kilns. The kilns are unique in that they can make smoking of the fish less cumbersome. The time for smoking is reduced. The quantity of fuel required, we are going to use charcoal in this case, is minimized because the kilns are heavily insulated.
As we speak, the layer unit of the poultry at Ebedebri is producing eggs. We are harvesting a minimum of 150 crates per day. That is a state government investment.
In a bid to diversify our economy and to have self-sufficiency in food production, we produce 30,000 crates of egg every day. Each pen is 15,000 capacity. The one we are in is 15,000 capacity of layers. We have over 60,000 crates of eggs that moves into Bayelsa State every day from our neighboring states. And from our local farmers, I mean the private poultry farmers in Bayelsa State, we are able to produce less than 10,000 crates per day. And you know what that means? If over 60,000 crates of egg is moving into Bayelsa State every day, that's over 50,000 naira every day that is going out of Bayelsa State. So in that bit, His Excellency deemed it fit that this massive project has been established in those two local government areas to meet the protein need of Bayelsa. The biosecurity aspect of any poultry or any livestock subsector is very key. Before you move in here, at least they would have disinfected your vehicles, Even any equipment that comes into the farm, we have gone through the biosecurity measures to make sure that nobody brings in any form of disease to the farm. We have the fogger at the entrance of the gates to disinfect both the vehicles and the personnel that will visit the farm before they even get access to the poultry.
Then one for the family for another one. The joking be soon coming out, was soon while joking for one diamond coral, good zone to Zor, Midwest and we fed from Cameroon and Black Meat, joking soon coming. But maybe because for part of the for one Suak and one make clean a big as an acting, but then you will have a fat years and then we make the come out as a state government.
For a very long time, Bayelsa State has been without a central abattoir. This has led to operators in the industry doing the business without any kind of regulations. Today, however, the story has changed. The government, mindful of the health of its citizens, has provided a central place where livestock can be slaughtered and processed for sale. The Bayelsa Central Abattoir, located along the Bayelsa Farm Road, is not only hygienic but also meets international standards.
The Central Abattoir meat that is coming from there will meet the minimum hygiene standards. What I say is that minimum is the benchmark hygiene standards in terms of what happens before the slaughtering, what happens after slaughtering, and how it is handled, the meat is handled and packaged for the market. We are very, very optimistic that Bayelsans moving forward will be consuming meat that will meet the hygiene standard that is required. At the end, the final products that are sold to the consumers are wholesome for consumption. So what do I mean by this? When animals are brought here for slaughtering, the first step is to take the animals to the lairage. At the point that those animals are to be moved into the lairage, each animal is examined physically. We take the physical parameters, we try to sort out those ones that are apparently healthy, and then those ones that are not healthy are removed from the stock. And in the lairage, the apparently healthy ones are allowed to remain there for about 12 to 24 hours, within which period they will not be allowed to eat, to take any food, because that will reduce the level of microbes within the gastrointestinal system. So, following the rest in the lairage within 12 to 24 hours, the animals are now moved to the slaughterhouse. In the slaughterhouse, the animals are slaughtered and we examine the various organs, we examine the carcass in general, and specifically we look at some vital organs that may have bearing with diseases that may be transmissible to humans.
This is the first time Bayelsa State government recognizes us as a butchers. Our people that are generating revenue in the states. We have a befitting abattoir like this. You can see the place very, very okay for us. We are very glad. We appreciate the Bayelsa State government and the Ministry of Agriculture for making it possible for us to have something like this in Bayelsa State. This facility you are seeing here is one of the befitting abattoir the entire nation we have, not only Bayelsa. If you go to neighboring states, you can't find something like this in their states. And now that women remember that we are existing, so we are very glad that we know that yes, women is now that remember that we are on board. If they have a man that come and do something like this for us, to come and kill our cow and feed the Bayelsans, I believe now whoever now is eating meat in Bayelsa, you will be saved.
Over 20 slabs in the state that are well below standards, operating dangerously below standards. So consequent upon this, His Excellency, the Executive Governor of this state, in his magnanimity, has provided this wholesome and hygienic place for people of Bayelsa to enjoy hygienic meat.
You know, initially they normally kill cow in the bush. They bring donkey, jockey from Ugele, Port Harcourt to sell, but through the help of the restoration government, they give us a benefiting abattoir like this, a standard something that is also hygienic. And initially we were using the waterside water from the Swale River, but here we have the standard borehole.
There is a customer I met yesterday when I want to sell meat to him, and I told him that I came here and buy the meat at the government abattoir. And I told me that yes, he preferred to buy from me than the other woman that is with me because of the environment. That thank God he will buy from me because the place now, the environment now is very neat. They will be eating neat meat in Bayelsa State because of how he saw the place in the paper. So,
my name is Aleshiho Amadou. We're happy for the Bayelsa Communal State. He don't try for us. He don't build slaughter for us. He don't give up a cattle market where we sell our cow. So we're happy. We thank God for that. This is what we do here from the beginning. I've been there 37 years of Bayelsa. No major governor will build slaughter, will give us market, or will sell our goods. All the governors is just given temporary, tomorrow go this side, let's tomorrow. No, we don't get permanent place. We're happy to Bayelsa Communal State, so we thank God for that one.
The restoration government in Bayelsa State is clearly set on making agriculture a big revenue earner and also to create massive jobs, especially for youths. With the abundance of certain crops such as rice, cassava, and fisheries in the state, no doubt Bayelsa can achieve food sufficiency.
I'm a boy,